Friends, welcome back in this series of lectures on pharmaceutical chemistry. In today's lecture, we are going to see synthesis of chloramphenicol. Actually, in our syllabus, we are expected to learn synthesis and uses of certain pharmaceutical compounds. In every video lecture, we are dealing with some historical perspective, some introductory part, and then the synthesis and its use. So as far as examination approach is concerned, you are expected to learn the reaction and its use only. आपण या सर्व व्हिडिओंच्या मध्ये बघत असताना सुरुवातीचा जो भाग आहे, जो ऐतिहासिक आढावा आहे, थोडी पार्श्वभूमी आहे, या गोष्टी आपल्यामध्ये या विषयाबद्दलची आवड निर्माण व्हावी यासाठी आहे, जेणेकरून या संदर्भातलं आपलं आकलन सोपं होईल, वाढेल असा त्यामागे हेतू आहे. परीक्षेच्या दृष्टीने विचार करताना आपण फक्त त्याच्यातली केमिकल रिॲक्शन, दॅट इज सिंथेटिक अप्रोच अँड इट्स युटिलायझेशन यूज या गोष्टीच लक्षात ठेवायच्या. ओके, सो टुडे वी आर डीलिंग विथ सिंथेसिस ऑफ chloramphenicol. Let us begin with some new terms. Let us consider what is meant by antibiotics. So before that, let us have some review. Antibiotics have been used for millennia to treat infections, although until the last century or so, people did not know the infections were caused by bacteria. Antibiotics चा वापर असा अनेक वर्ष सुरू आहे, मिलेनिया असं म्हटले त्याच्यामध्ये. पण बॅक्टेरियाजमुळे इन्फेक्शन्स होतात हे फार उशिरा कळालं. Various molds and plant extracts were used to treat infections by some of the earliest civilizations that is the ancient Egyptians. For example, applied moldly bread to infected wounds. This technique was known for centuries and in earlier civilizations. It was discovered that pneumonia and diarrhea are caused by bacteria and were the number one cause of human death in developed world. So this is related to introduction about antibiotics. Then the word antibiotics is derived from antibiosis. Antibiosis was first described in 1877 in bacteria when Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch observed that an airborne bacillus could inhibit the growth of Bacillus anthracis. So it was the first event and antibiosis concept was introduced. During late 19th century, scientists began to observe antibacterial chemicals in action. Paul Ehrlich, a German physician, noted that certain chemical dyes colored some bacterial cells but not others. And he concluded that according to this principle, it must be possible to create substances that can kill certain bacteria selectively without harming other cells. So the idea was developed by Paul Ehrlich. In 1909, he discovered that a chemical called arsphenamine, also known as salvarsan, was an effective treatment for syphilis. This became the first modern antibiotic, although Ehrlich himself referred to his discovery as chemotherapy, the use of chemicals to treat diseases. The word antibiotic was not coined. Okay, his idea was it was chemotherapy. The word antibiotics was first used over 30 years later by the Ukrainian American inventor and microbiologist Selman Waksman, who in his lifetime discovered over 20 antibiotics. This is about Selman Abraham Waksman. The period is 22nd July 1888 to 16th August 1973. He was a Russian Empire born Jewish American inventor, biochemist, and microbiologist whose research into the decomposition of organisms that live in soil enabled the discovery of streptomycin and several other antibiotics. He was awarded Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine, of course, in 1952. Dr. Workman's studies had led to the discovery of streptomycin, a new antibiotic. Streptomycin was the first effective cure for tuberculosis. Okay. In 1928, penicillin, the first two antibiotic, was discovered by Alexander Fleming, professor of bacteriology at St. Mary's Hospital in London. Harvard Florey and Ernest Chain share the 1945 Nobel Prize in Medicine with Alexander Fleming for their role in creating the first mass-produced antibiotic. So, these are the review type ideas. Then, antibiosis and antibiotics. When we consider these two words, antibiosis can be defined as the antagonism resulting from the toxicity of secondary metabolites produced by one microorganism for other microorganisms. So, in this way, the idea was further developed. Now, here begins our unit. So, what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are medicines that fight bacterial infections in people and animals. They work by killing the bacteria or by making it hard for the bacteria to grow and multiply. Means antibiotics fight against bacterial infections in living organisms, that is animals and even human being. Then either they kill the bacteria or make it hard to grow and multiply. Antibiotics can be taken in different ways, either orally, that is in the form of pills, capsules, etc., or liquids. Then chloramphenicol is an antibiotic useful for the treatment of number of bacterial infections. This includes use as an eye ointment to treat conjunctivitis, by mouth or by injection into a vein. It is used to treat meningitis, plague, cholera and typhoid fever. Of course, these are expert activities and are to be carried out under expert supervision and expert practitioners. So, chloramphenicol was first isolated from Streptomyces venezuelae. It is also known as chloromycetin. Chloramphenicol is also known as chloromycetin. It was first isolated from Streptomyces venezuelae in 1947. In 1949, a team of scientists at Parker Davis, including Mildred Rebstock, published their identification of the chemical structure and their synthesis, making it the first antibiotic to be made instead of extracted from a microorganism. So, it was synthetically reported and Mildred Catherine Rebstock was an American pharmaceutical chemist. She and her team were the first to fully synthesize chloromycetin, also known as chloramphenicol. This was the first instance of an antibiotic being fully synthesized. Okay, so this is the photograph of Mildred Catherine Rebstock. The period is 29th November 1919 to 17th February 2011. She was an American pharmaceutical chemist. Okay, so in this photograph, it is observed that Mildred Rebstock and Eugene H. Pan had run the first clinical trials with chloromycetin. Okay, so what is Streptomyces venezuelae? Is a species of soil-dwelling gram-positive bacterium of the genus Streptomyces. Streptomyces venezuelae is a filamentous. In its spore-bearing stage, hyphae perfuse both above ground as aerial hyphae and in the soil substrate. So, of course, it is not expected from you to write in the examination. We are concerned with this reaction. Of course, it is a reaction having 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6 and 7 steps. So, 7-step synthetic protocol is there. We are going to see the details. Actually, it is a long process. and there are several sub steps also, but prominently we are considering only these 7 steps. In the first step, it is actually it begins, the reaction begins with para nitroacetophenone. This is nitro group, this is benzene ring, CH3CO. So para nitroacetophenone is the starting material. Okay, so let us see the stepwise transformation. In the first step, para nitroacetophenone is brominated. See the steps carefully. This bromine, that is the process of bromination, replaces one hydrogen of CH3 by bromine. So this becomes CH2Br. So first step is replacement by bromine. Now in the second step, the second step is carried out by using this catalyst. It is hexamethylene tetramine, or it is also known as methenamine, or it is also known as hexamine, or it is known as urotropine. What is the formula? It is CH2 6 times N4. The structure is like this. So this catalyst replaces bromine by NH2 group. In the as we have seen in the first step, replacement by bromine. In the second step, replacement by NH2. It is impossible to replace NH2 directly. Therefore, via bromination it is replaced. See the steps very carefully. Okay. So actually we are concerned with only this portion, only this CO, CH2, NH2 portion. So I will repeat once again. We begin with this acetophenone, that is para nitroacetophenone. We get a bromo derivative. Bromo derivative is further converted into amine derivative by using hexamine. Hexamine has this structure, and the other alternative names are also given here. In the next step, one hydrogen of NH2 is replaced by acetyl group, and for that purpose acetic anhydride, acetyl chloride can be used in acetic acid medium. So the reaction is acetylation. First reaction was bromination, second was replacement by NH2, third replacement by acyl group, AC group. So acetic anhydride replaces hydrogen by AC group, and it becomes acetyl derivative. Now to this acetylated form you add formaldehyde. The reaction is formylation. Okay, the formylation is taking place, and we get a formulate CH2OH group is added. So HCH2 is CH2O. So this HCHO is added, and we get this formyl derivative, formulated derivative. So we get this additional CH2OH. In the next step, you will find that here there is a carbonyl group. This carbonyl group has to be reduced, and for that purpose MPV reduction is carried out. Aluminium isopropoxide and isopropyl alcohol are used. So carbonyl group is converted into CHOH group. So this formulated form remains as it is, only there is change in carbonyl group, it is converted into CHOH. Okay. In the next step, it is related to the acid hydrolysis. This acid hydrolysis actually AC group is eliminated, and we get this form. So OH is as it is, and NHAC is converted into NH2. The step is conversion of NHAC group to NH2 by acid hydrolysis. This is carried out in acidic condition. In the next step, you will find that the last step it is there. Actually this isomer which is obtained in the earlier step is a DL isomer. So it is resolved, and after resolution of the DL mixture and reaction with dichloromethyl acetate, this is dichloro, that is 2 chlorines, then this is CH group, Cl2CH COOCH3, it is dichloromethyl acetate. The reaction is condensation again, and this condensation is taking place between this NH2 and CHCl2 COOCH3. So we get NH from NH2, then NHCO, NHCO Cl2CH CHCl2. Okay, NHCO CHCl2 with elimination of the rest of the CH3OH group. So this is the last step where we get the chloromazetine or chloramphenicol. This is the same reaction once again represented. In the beginning I showed the complete reaction having 7 steps. The same reaction in different presentation is shown over here. It is para-nitroacetophenone bromination, bromine. Hexaamine gives, of course it is in acidic medium, it gives amino replacement product. Then in the next step it is acetylated, then it is formulated, this formyl derivative is there, then it is acetylated again, this acetyl derivative is further hydrolyzed, and the hydrolyzed derivative in the last step is condensed with dichloromethyl acetate. So you can remember suitable flow chart. Before that you divide the complete reaction into several steps and remember the stepwise process. Actually this is again the same reaction in another form. Out of these 3 options you can remember whichever is convenient to you for remembering. So in brief, in these several steps we start with para-nitroacetophenone and we end with chloromazetine. The technique is very simple and we get finally a beautiful product. What is the use? The medication is used to treat bacterial eye infections. That is the first application. Then chloramphenicol is used to treat serious infections in different parts of the body. It is sometimes given with other antibiotics. However, chloramphenicol should not be used for colds, flu, other virus infections, sore throats or other minor infections, or to prevent other infections. So in this way just you remember the complete flow chart, complete set of reactions, 7 steps, and by remembering stepwise process, and you can remember the use also. In this case you will be expected to write a note on antibiotics. Okay, so what are antibiotics? What is antibiosis? What are antibiotics? Chloromazetine is an antibiotic. It was isolated from Streptomyces venezuelae and later on it was synthetically prepared. So you can remember in this way. With this we will stop here after the consideration of use and its synthetic applications. Thank you.